It was Friday, October 13th. The wind had a strange silence to it. Not cold, not warm, just hollow. The time was 11:47 p.m. when I stood outside the infamous Hollow Ridge Church. My camera was ready, flashlight on, and my mind focused on one thing: content. Haunted church video, I thought. Perfect for clicks. People said the church was cursed, that once you go in, you don't come out quite the same. Some don't come out at all. I laughed it off. It's just a building, I whispered to myself. But the moment I stepped inside, something shifted. The air changed. Heavier, thicker, like walking through someone's breath. The door creaked shut behind me. Inside, it was dead silent, except for my own footsteps. And something that almost sounded like another pair, just behind mine. I made my way toward the altar. It looked ancient, weathered. There was something odd about the floor beneath it. A loose panel, maybe. I took out my small screwdriver, pried at the edge. Click. A hidden compartment slid open. Inside, I found a cracked, leather-bound book and a stone box. The book read, "The Book of Offerings." Every page listed a name, a date, and one chilling phrase: sacrifice accepted. I flipped through it faster and faster until I froze on one name: David Elmore, March 21st, 1965. That was my grandfather's name. My hands trembled. A photo fell out. Young, fresh-faced David standing right here at this very altar. No, I muttered. That's not possible. But it was. What was my grandfather doing in a book of ancient sacrificial rites? Now let me ask you something. What would you do if you found your own family listed in a book of sacrifices? Could your bloodline be part of something unspoken? I'll answer that question, but not yet. First, you need to know what happened next. As I stood there, breath heavy, the candles, unlit for decades, suddenly sparked to life, on their own. A whisper echoed, "You weren't supposed to see that." I turned. No one. But the air. It wasn't just cold. It was aware. A second compartment opened near the altar, leading to a narrow staircase descending into darkness. I couldn't stop myself. I had to go. At the bottom was a room. Another altar. This one covered in dried blood. Symbols on the walls, the same ones engraved on the bracelet my grandfather gave me when I was 10. This wasn't random. I wasn't just an explorer. I was meant to find this place, meant to return. In the corner, I found a dusty reel-to-reel tape player. I hit play. A voice crackled to life. "If you're hearing this, you are one of us. This isn't a curse. It's a continuation. And you are the next step." So here's your answer. Those people who disappeared after entering this church, they didn't get lost. They were never meant to return. They were sacrificed, offered up, and now it's me. Either I end the ritual or become the next name in the Book of Offerings. It's now 12:01 a.m. Technically, it's Saturday, October 14th. I'm going back down into that basement. If I don't come out, know this: some secrets stay buried for centuries, and others wake up the moment you start looking for them. Tonight, the altar's secret has awakened, and I think it's hungry. I hit play. A voice crackled to life. "If you're hearing this, you are one of us. This isn't a curse. It's a continuation. And you are the next step." So here's your answer. Those people who disappeared after entering this church, they didn't get lost. They were never meant to return. They were sacrificed, offered up, and now it's me. Either I end the ritual or become the next name in the Book of Offerings. It's now 12:01 a.m. Technically, it's Saturday, October 14th. I'm going back down into that basement. If I don't come out, know this: some secrets stay buried for centuries, and others wake up the moment you start looking for them. Tonight, the altar's secret has awakened, and I think it's hungry. I thought it was a priest, but the moment he opened his mouth to speak, I felt something crawl behind my eyes, like his voice wasn't coming from his throat, but from inside my head. Now pause. Let me ask you something. What would you do if the people around you suddenly stopped breathing, but were still moving? I'll answer that, but not yet. Because right then, I realized something strange. No one was blinking, not once. Their heads slowly turned toward me in sync, like a school of fish sensing danger. One woman, hood slightly askew, smiled, and I saw it. Black teeth, needle-like, rows, too many. I stood up. The priest raised one bony hand. "You are welcome here, child of dusk," he said, eyes glowing under the hood. I backed away. He laughed. "You came by choice. Now stay by fate." That's when I saw the mirror at the back of the church. And I wasn't in it. My reflection was gone. I ran through the woods across candlelight trails that flickered and vanished behind me. I made it home at exactly 12:59 a.m. And guess what? My clock hasn't moved since. It's still frozen at that time. My reflection hasn't returned either. And Mrs. Cresswell, never seen her again. So here's your answer. What would you do if the congregation around you wasn't human, and you slowly realized neither were you? You wouldn't run. You couldn't, because you're already becoming one of them. Welcome to Black Hollow. Midnight Mass begins again. Tonight. It was Sunday, December 10th, 8:42 a.m., when I entered the old St. Bartholomew's Church for the first time. The morning light cut through the stained glass like a warning, not a blessing. I was just there to drop off canned goods for a local drive. Nothing holy, just helpful. But when I passed the statue of St. Aurelius, I stopped. His eyes, usually stone, seemed wet. I leaned closer. That's when I saw it. Thick red tears trailing down his cheeks. Blood. It was definitely blood. I laughed at first. "Is this some kind of prank?" I muttered. An old woman nearby looked at me with panic. "You saw it?" she whispered, backing away. "Oh no, not you too." That's when Father Lorne came rushing over. "Don't speak of it," he snapped. "Pretend it never happened. Go home. Say nothing to anyone." But how could I? I'd just witnessed something divine, or demonic. I left shaken, but curious. That night I couldn't sleep. My dreams were filled with fire, screaming faces and eyes. Always those blood-red, weeping eyes, watching me. And outside my window, footsteps, but no one was there. Now tell me, what would you do if a statue cried blood and people told you to forget it? Would you move on? Pretend it didn't happen? I'll answer that, but not yet, because the next morning I noticed something strange in the mirror. My pupils were turning red, just faintly, almost like blood had pooled behind my eyes. That day, I found out 3 other people had seen the statue too. 2 were missing. 1 had gone completely blind overnight. I returned to the church for answers. Father Lorne was gone, vanished. But the statue? Now, it was smiling, its eyes no longer weeping, but staring straight at me. And in my chest, I felt something shift, like something inside me had been claimed. I found a hidden page in the church's records. A passage read, "Those who witness the saint's sorrow are chosen, marked, and soon transformed." I looked at my reflection again. My eyes were bleeding now, but it didn't hurt. In fact, it felt right. So here's your answer. If you see the saint's tears, it means you've been chosen, not to die, but to become something else, something holy, or something damned. That choice was never yours to make. You saw the eyes, and now they see through you. Think you've seen it all? The next ghost might be right behind you. Darkness never forgets you. If you want more secrets, subscribe now. or the next face you see might be your own.